Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another podcast. And in today's video, I just wanted to talk to you guys about me literally crashing my car on Sunday the 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day. I didn't intend to spin out. I did wreck my car, and according to one shop, they said there's $3,000 worth of damage. Yeah, $3,000. That's a lot of damn money. I was like, wait, what? $3,000? And when they said $3,000, I was like, oh, God, that's a lot more money than I thought it would be. Because in the end, if the insurance says it's $3,000, they're just going to total my car out, and I'm going to have to look for something else. And I need something to get my ass back and forth to work. I ain't one of those dudes who's going to rely on other people. And most people where I work don't have the way of getting me a ride, because I asked people and they're like, I don't live where you live, I live 30 miles away, so it'd be pointless for them to drive from where they live to where I live and go back to work. So they'd be racking up miles and racking in gas, and I'm not about that, right? People are like, well, you can Uber to work every day. Not really, because Ubering back and forth like that is 40 miles or like 20 miles one way and 20 miles back. That's like, let's say $20 there, $20 back. $40 round trip, hell to the no. So it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that this body shop will fix it. They said it wasn't just the tire that got jacked up and like the rim didn't break. It wasn't just the tire went flat. There's other things that absolutely happened that I guess I don't know about, and it's all underneath the car. Because here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Like, here is like the car, and here's the car, and here is the curb. My car actually went up the curb and right back down. Like, it was instantly, like, maybe 10 seconds. Like, it just went, and it was like that. It was done before I even knew about it. But that damage, because I remember when I got off the curb and I started my car up, because I didn't stop because I looked both ways and there was no traffic, and I didn't want to hold up traffic because it could have been busy, and I don't want to have them. Then the police would have came out and all that kind of stuff. The police would have came out, and I'm not dealing with that. So because I was like, there's not that much damage, and then my car was going like violently shaking. I was like, oh, there's something wrong here, baby. There's something wrong. So I ended up taking the car to the gas station, where I let the car sit while I called AAA Auto Towing, and they came and picked up the car. And that's when Firestone, they said it was $3,000 worth of damage, and they didn't feel comfortable doing that kind of work. So is that a bad sign? Is that a good sign that they won't do it, but they will have somebody else do it? Could it have been their labor was higher than the labor that this other shop is going to charge? Possibly. Because at the end of the day, man, I just want to get my car back. I don't want to have to rely on maybe some rental car, because that's probably what I have to do, is because my insurance does have rental car service until they can fix my car. But if they can fix my car, I'm going to be so glad. I'm like, hell yeah, baby, you fix my car. Woo, 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 woo. But if they can't fix my car, then that's going to be a nightmare, because then I'm going to have to go out and look for something. And if I'm going to look for something, it's going to be probably an SUV or truck. My buddy Dan's like, no, dog, you should get a Toyota Celica again. I've looked for Celicas, but here, all the Celicas are in, like, crappy condition. Like, the body's, like, dented. The body is so garbage. The interior sucks. It's just an overall bad experience to buy one. I would love the hell out of a Toyota Celica. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. A Toyota Celica would be phenomenal, but I can't just get something that is not going to be reliable to get back and forth to work. So I'll probably just get me like an SUV or a truck or something, because if that ever happens again, I probably would have been in like an SUV, just went like this, up and over the curb, and nothing probably would have happened. I probably would have just ended up in the guy's yard, and that would have been it. I wouldn't have ended up ruining my car it probably just went up and over, because you got to think about it too, that SUVs and trucks, their tires are more beefy and more thick than just a regular tire. And the back tires were tires I was going to replace anyway, because they were those stupid ass low profile tires that came with the car. So whoever had the car before had those like $50 tires on there, which were garbage anyway. So that's one main reason why I think my car whipped out. And when I drove back there the other day, I noticed there was like gravel on the road, and I noticed they were doing a lot of construction in my work, because I see dump trucks left and right. So, if I would have took pictures of this area, I probably had a lawsuit on my hand, because that should have never happened where there was gravel on the ground. But it probably happened mainly because I hydroplaned, because there was rain that just happened like 20 minutes before the accident. So that is just my main concern, is them scrapping it, and then I have to go out of my own way to purchase another vehicle. Like, what would the vehicle be? Like I said, it will probably not be a Nissan. It will probably be like a SUV or a truck, or something like a small Ford Ranger, or a Ford Explorer Sport Track. Those are pretty dope. But my main thing is to probably get an SUV or truck. And the only reason why I never got a SUV or truck in the first place is because of the damn commuting I do, like 40 miles a day. And I know the crossover scene now is so much better, and they're very, very reliable vehicles. So I'm just praying that I do get my car back, because I still owe on it. I like the car, but if at the end of the day they scrap it, then it's on to getting like an SUV or a truck, just because they're more safer in accidents. And like I said, I probably would have just hit the curb and bounced over it, and probably not messed up a lot of things. Maybe dented the rim a little bit or something, but I don't think I would have jacked up the undercarriage. I definitely wouldn't have done that, because when you have a SUV or truck, they're lifted, so they're a lot higher from you scraping. So when I find out more information, I'll continue the podcast, but I'm going to end it right here. So you're going to have a weird like end, and it's going to go into another part of the podcast when I find out more information. But most of the podcast was shot on this camera, and I did sync the audio, so that's why the video quality changed, because now I'm using my full 1080p web camera. But we'll be back. Can you believe the rental car service today? Because they gave me a Ford Fiesta, and I was like, that car is too small, which it was. And then they were like, okay, we'll give you another car, which is a Hyundai Elantra. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool car. I'll check it out. I'll rent that until my car is fixed. These mother truckers had the audacity to say, oh, it needs an oil change. Can you take it down there and get the oil change done for the car? Well, what? That's not my responsibility to go get your car an oil change. So what they did is they gave me a Ford Focus, which is an actual comfortable car. I'll say that. I like the car's a little bit of pickup. I think if it had a little bit of an aftermarket exhaust, it would probably sound a hell of a lot nicer, right? But I'm not a Ford person. But the crappy thing is, everything in there, yes, everything in that car doesn't work. You can't charge your cell phone. You can't sync your car up to the Bluetooth. You can't even use an auxiliary cable. It doesn't even have one. And it doesn't even have a CD player. So what the hell? I can't even use that car. I can get back and forth to work, but there's no entertaining, because I love to listen to my phone, and when I'm riding out, that's when I like to listen to podcasts. But this is so stupid. I can't listen to nothing. There's no syncing the phone. There's no nothing. There is a USB plug, so I'm going to try that tomorrow. But this whole wrecking my car thing is going way worse than I thought it would be. Because I thought, okay, I'd have the car back by Friday. It's going on Saturday. So, another day in paradise. But the way I look at life is, everything in life happens for a reason. I always say that you learn from your mistakes. You learn what to do, what not to do in a accident, and that's what happened. I'm going to be more cautious when it rains and whatnot. So this whole process is taking longer than I thought because the place that I was gonna get my car fixed, they're pretty much backed up because where I live, there's a lot of accidents. So it is what it is. Like I said, I don't really know if I get my car back or not, but I'll make another podcast explaining if I do get it back or I don't. But everything in life happens for a reason. So, is there a reason maybe they wreck my car and I get like an SUV or truck? Because that's kind of what I wanted in the very beginning, but I only got the Altima because the Altima was a car that can get me back and forth to work with great gas mileage, possibly. But at the end of the day, that it just makes me mad that this whole shit happened. I drive, I crash, and I assumed because it happened on the 17th, and it is now what? It is now actually the 23rd, and I still haven't heard anything back from the body shop that my car is going to be wrecked or thrashed or I'm going to be able to keep it. I pray to God that it's going to be kept because I don't want to have to go out and look for another car. And that is the downfall, man. If you have to have a car immediately, you're basically forced to go out and buy something very similar to your car or go buy the same car but maybe a different year because you know exactly what it feels like. So you go, okay, I had an Altima before, I'm just going to go buy another Altima. So you're not really going out there saying, I'm going to try this truck, try this van, try this car because you need a car to get your ass back and forth to work. So that's exactly what I'm hoping I don't have to do, is be forced into going out of my way to do that because I don't have time during the day. I work. How did I do that? Because normally I just take the side road. So it's kind of weird because you question yourself, why did I go to the stoplight instead of turning and going over the train tracks and going home that way? Because if I would have went up and over the train tracks, this whole process would never even have happened, And I don't know why I went the way I did. Maybe I thought it'd be faster. Maybe I thought, hey, there's no traffic. It's Sunday morning. It's going to be in and out, and I don't want to have to wait for a train. I really don't know. That's the question that you have in life. Like, why did I go to A, or why did I go B route instead of the A route that I normally go? Like, do you guys ever have that happen? Like you did something and you're like, why did I do that when I normally do this? So I'm kind of confused in the whole situation of why I did what I did. But like I said, everything in life happens for a reason, but that's just a weird reason. Like, why did I go to the stoplight like that and end up like drifting into the side of the road? And a lot of people said if you're going to be drifting into the side of the road, like into the curb, you're supposed to you want to turn your tires towards, I guess, the curb. So when you're drifting, the back tires don't just like whip out. So I would have been like going like this. Instead, and when I turned my tires away from the curb, that's when my back tires and the tail of the car whipped out and hit the curb because you're going like this. And if the tires would have been like that, I wouldn't have whipped like that. But a lot of people are telling me I shouldn't have put my brakes on. But isn't that like a natural reaction to slam on your brakes? Because you're like, oh, I'm going to hit something, and you put your brakes on because you don't want to end up smashing into a wall or into another car. It's just a reaction because I have that reaction. Like a lot of people said, if I wouldn't have put my brakes on, I probably wouldn't have whipped out either. So it is what it is, man. So I really don't know what more I can say because I called the insurance company. I said I need a fucking car. They gave me a rental car, but I'm like, no, I want my car back. Is there any information on my car? And they're like, there ain't no info on your car. Yep, literally, they haven't even, from what I understand, lifted the car up because one body shop already told me there was stuff underneath the car damage, but the car or the damage that's at the shop where it is now, they never lifted it up on their hoist and checked anything out. So right now, that's why it's taking so long, because all they've done since the 17th, I think they got it on the 18th, is add some tires and 2 rims. And just let me know what you guys would do in this situation. Would you be frustrated? Would you be mad? Or would you just be like, as long as I got a rental car, I can drive around? They gave me a Ford Fiesta. That car sucked. Then they gave me a Ford Focus. That car was okay. It actually drove okay. It had comfortable seats. It wasn't the Ford Focus RS. That would have been dope. Haha, that would have been sick. But everything in the car didn't work, like the radio. There was no auxiliary cord, no nothing. So none of that stuff worked. So I took that car back, and then they gave me a Nissan Versa. Haha, the Nissan Versa. Like I said, it's very bare bone. There's nothing in there that's like fancy, nothing. There's one cup holder, a radio, and some air conditioning. And that's literally it. But at least I can get around town. At least I can get back and forth to work. But at the end of the day, I just want my car back. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. So frustrating.